Hello people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Another day, another scholarship. So today I bring you more opportunities in Australia. So about 2-3 weeks ago I did a scholarship on Masters and PhD scholarships in Australia, and the video went quite viral. It means there's several people who are interested in studying in Australia. And by the way, I do not blame you. Australia is one of the best destination for international students. And today I'm not just talking about studying in Australia, but I'm talking about studying in Australia with a fully funded scholarship, with living allowance, with health insurance, and with international relocation funds. So you are fully covered with these scholarships that I'll be sharing with you today. So the scholarships we're talking about today are in the University of Melbourne in Australia. Melbourne, one of the biggest cities in the country, with lots of opportunities, vibrant urban life as well. So if you're looking for an urban university, lots of opportunities, I think Melbourne is for you. We're also looking at generous opportunities at the University of Adelaide as well. So we'll be checking these opportunities together, highlighting the major strategies for application, how to go about um, fulfilling the application's requirements, and other things like that. So without any further delay, let's get into the video. So we'll begin with the University of Melbourne. This is a fully funded scholarship, and you wouldn't believe this, but this scholarship has close to 600 spots. So for this scholarship, about 600 applicants will be accepted. Just let that sink in a little. 600 applicants will be accepted. So this is a very broad scholarship, accepting lots of people. So try as much as possible to be among those who will be selected for this scholarship. 600 spots. So it is open to both Australian students or domestic students and international students, and it covers full tuition, it covers living allowance, covers health insurance, covers relocation fees. Very soon we'll go into the juicy package, the exact amount that it covers, so just stay with me. Let's go through other important bits first. So for the eligibility requirements, usually you need like an above average result, an above average result, probably a 2-1 as we usually call it, a 2-1 as we usually call it. So and applicants will be great on the quality of the application. So things like your transcript, what you graduated with, what you studied, if you had something like a work experience or volunteer experience, those with publication, those that have done interesting research in the past, they all have an advantage. So try to boost your application by throwing in all relevant materials, all those things you've gathered in school, all those projects you've, all those volunteer activities, put them in this application, put them in your CV, put them in your statement of purpose. Make sure you get your transcript and everything is ready to compete for this scholarship. And remember, there are 600 spots, so you do not want to miss this. So how do you apply for this scholarship? So there's an application form, your application portal here, and a number of courses available. And remember, this is scholarship by research. So it's masters by research or PhD scholarship. So masters by research is different from masters that is taught, or what they call taught masters. Taught masters, you go to class and at the end of the day you take exam. There might be a small research at the end. Masters by research, on the contrary, is heavily based on research. Yes, there might be a number of courses you take, a number of classes you would do, but it's heavily based on research. The bulk of your master's degree will be based on the kind of research you do in the department. And that is why you need to find a supervisor, for instance. That is why you need to write a research proposal. But we'll be looking at these shortly, so do not panic. I'll be talking you through how to do all these. I've talked about this separately or before in a different video, but in case we have new subscribers or those who only watch the former video, so this is an opportunity to get the new insights on how to contact the supervisor, how to write a research proposal, and of course in the online form you can submit your other documents such as the CV, your statement of purpose, your transcripts, and other things. So you could always read this through yourself, and of course I'll be putting the links of this scholarship below. So look at what it covers: full tuition fee for 2 years, that's for a master's, then for 4 years for a PhD, living allowance 31,200. This is very generous, very, very generous for 2 years as a PhD, or for 3.5 years, 3.5 for uh, a PhD student. So 2 years for masters, 3.5 for PhD. Let's get that clear. And there's also things like sick maternity allowance and parenting leave allowance. So this is very generous. And of course, there's also relocation allowance. So those coming from outside Australia, there's also relocation allowance that will help you foot your bills, your travel bills, or that will refund you what you spent on flight ticket or things like visa. And then there's also overseas student health and cover. So you're going to get health insurance as well from this scholarship. So this is very generous, I must confess. Very generous. I remember 600 spots, guys. 600 spots. So how do we go about this? So you've seen here how to apply. There is an application form here where you have to log in your details and everything. Open an account. But remember, we talked about searching for a research course first. You have to know the courses available. And remember, it is a research based scholarship. So you need to find a supervisor in that university, because if there's no supervisor there, there's nobody to supervise your research, then you might not get a spot. So let's look for a course and a supervisor together. So we'll click on this button. Let's open it in a different tab. So I'll be talking you through how to apply for a research graduate course at the University of Melbourne with 600 spots, 600 funded opportunities. So we go here, international applications. Okay, application requirements. I think we've seen that already before. Let's just go through. So usually, as I said, a 2-1 above average qualification as well. So now find a supervisor. This is the bold heading here. Find a supervisor, and now you see write a research proposal. A number of people get worried when they hear this thing, a research proposal. You do not need to be worried. It's quite simple. So you're coming into this university with a topic in mind, with a research goal in mind, with some research questions in mind. And a research proposal just wants you to put down these thoughts on paper. So what is required here? Just write probably a one page for now, since it wasn't given like a word limit wasn't given here. So probably a one page, a 2 page research proposal might be appropriate, except you're told to do a longer one. And if you're told to do a longer research proposal, do not worry. I already have a video, separate video on this channel that I did months back on how to write a research proposal. So here, let us just do a brief 1 page, 2 page research proposal. How do you go about this? A research topic in your area of interest, and narrow down those topics to questions, maybe a question or a set of related questions on what particular things you want to find out under this topic. Then a quick literature review. What has been said on this topic previously? What did previous scholars find about this topic? And then what is your own contribution? What are you bringing to the table? Finally, what is your method? How do you intend to undertake this research? Are you using quantitative method? Are you using qualitative method? Are you doing some kind of experiments? So they want you to have like a near clear experience, even though your research proposal might change when you get into the university. There'll certainly be amendments here and there, but they just want you to have like a fair idea of what you want and where you're going to. So then we look for a professor here, look for an expert, look for someone in the university that might be interested in my research. So let's say I'm interested in security studies. So I'll just type security here and hope to find someone who does something on security studies. So there are a number of names already. So here we say food security, inequality, instability, migration. Yeah, there's also security here, but it's more about IT, data management. But I'm more interested in the first, about human security, instability. So this professor seems to have what I'm looking for. So perfect. So what you do here is that you read through the the page of the professor, also read through some of his works, just get skim through and get a panoramic view of what he does, the project is engaged in, and his general research interest and focus. So after doing this, you need to send him an email. So send an email. You could title the email um, the PhD application seeking for research supervisor, or masters by research application request for supervision, something like that. Make sure the title is clear. Then what do you say to him? Introduce yourself to him. Dear Professor Don Barrett, my name is this, I'm from here. This is my qualification, this is my background, this is my area of interest. And I noticed that my area of interest aligns with yours, and I would like to study in this university through this scholarship. I wish to ask for your support for my application. I wish to ask for your availability to supervise my proposed research. And attached to this email are my CV and my research proposal. So something like that. So make sure you digest what he specializes in. Check very well, check his works, so you can even make reference to one or two of his works as well. That is how you curry favor from professors. Mention some of their works, mention what they've done, and show how they overlap with your own interest, if that makes sense. So that is the email you send to him. Send him your CV, send him your proposal, and hope you get a favorable response from him. So that's just the fast way of doing it. So while you're doing that, remember you also have to apply on the portal. You might have to do that concurrently as well. You might have to do that. So while you're preparing to apply in the portal, you're also hoping to get a yes from at least one supervisor. Because even if you put all your documents in the application portal and there's nobody in the university that supports your application, it might go nowhere. That's why you need a professor's support if you're applying for a research-based degree. So where is the deadline? So let's quickly look if we can find the deadline of this scholarship. Let's see if we can find the deadline so you know how to plan and how to put things together. So here it said that I believe by the 31st of October, I should apply, I believe, before the 31st of October. Could always check this on your own, but I think that's what it's saying here. Don't say it is far away. I think you should apply as soon as possible, because remember, you have to put all these things together before you apply. So for this one is around October. You might also have differences regarding different courses as well. So check the course you're applying for and check the particular application timetable as well. Check the application timetable of the course you're applying for. And remember, we have another university, not just University of Melbourne. We have actually another university, University of Adelaide in Australia as well. So let's see what Adelaide has for us. So University of Adelaide, the deadline here is on the 9th of July. 9th of July, which is not so far away. If you're watching this video in June, it's just about 2-3 weeks away. So get to work immediately. Also a fully funded scholarship, over $28,000 a year, and for a 3-year PhD or a 2-year master's. Probably you've seen it already. Research degree, research-based degree, international students. The application procedure, I believe, would just be very similar to what we saw at University of Melbourne. There's also an application form here, but usually you're meant to find a supervisor in there as well. Remember, find a supervisor in there as well. So let's go to postgraduate research. postgraduate research. So at your free time, digest the content. There's a lot of information here. I think you have to read and digest yourself, but we cannot do everything in just this video. So I'm just giving you the flashpoints. So at your own free time, you sit down with a cup of water, strategize, read the instructions, and start applying. So let's go. So you find a research program. You find the available research programs. So these are the available research programs at the University of Adelaide. I think we have more options in Melbourne, but these are the available research programs. And from here, you can always find a supervisor already. Click on the program, check for a supervisor in that program, and send them the email I talked about as well. Send them the email to support your application, because as I said, you need somebody in there if you'll be doing a research-based course. And that's it, guys. Generous opportunities. At Adelaide, I think we have about 28,000 per annum. And at Melbourne, you have, I think it's 31. Melbourne is a bigger city anyway, so things will be likely more expensive at Melbourne. So you have 31,000 200 Australian dollars per annum. And of course, other benefits like travel benefits, you have insurance, you have things like maternity allowance and things like that. So, and 600, remember, for Melbourne, there are 600 spots. So try to be among the 600. And that is it, guys. I hope this was useful. I hope this was helpful. Start applying as soon as possible. Start contacting professors. And I hope to see you at the top. And I hope to see you sooner than later. So bye bye for now and stay motivated.